races, worn out faces, bright and early for the daily races, going nowhere.
So the climate is warming. That's a fact. And if you don't know this by now, then either you're completely ignorant or you don't pay any attention at all and you just don't care. But there's an article written by the Huffington Post yesterday and a study published in Nature Climate Change, the journal Nature Climate Change, found that by 2100, if we continue carbon emissions, then there will be a 400% increase in rainfall in many parts of the country. And also due to climate change, the intensity of these storms, of these rainfall, could increase by as much as 70%. Now, most of this increase, the map is right there for you to see. Most of this increase comes obviously along the Gulf Coast, the Southwest, the Atlantic Coast, places that are already wetter than average. But these storms are going to become more intense, more frequent. We're already seeing it throughout the world. You look throughout the world, and the extreme weather you've seen this year alone, the last 2 years alone, has been significantly more than what we've seen in the past. You have an earthquake every other day. You got hurricanes, extreme flooding this year. We're going to see more droughts. And that's another thing this study found, is that in some parts of the country, some parts of the Midwest, we'll actually see less rainfall. And this will set up likely some droughts and possibly even mega droughts, which are droughts that last longer than 35 years. Haven't seen something like that in a long time on this earth, but it's a possibility if we continue polluting the air like we are. And there's reasons why it could be drier in certain parts of the U.S. and it could be wetter in certain parts of the U.S. in the future. It has to do with when the climate's warmed, there's more moisture in the atmosphere, which could lead to more extreme rainfall. But that also means that water gets evaporated from plants at higher rates. So therefore, when there is rainfall, it's not good enough to replenish it. So therefore, there's droughts. So it's more extreme weather. That's what climate change does. It warms up the planet, gives us more extreme weather. You're going to see sea levels rise. You can see the weather get hotter, more droughts. This is all what's coming for us if we don't stop polluting now. Pretty much now. Within the next decade, we need to take some huge cuts to our carbon emissions, or else we're in for a world of hurt. And that's only 10 years. Now, this particular study, is what would happen if we continued unabated with carbon emissions through 2100. So that's another 80 plus years. And what they did for this study is they actually controlled and said, okay, how would the storms in the years between 2000 and 2013, how would they have played out if the temperature was 5 degrees Celsius warmer? So they're already predicting that we continue polluting the air through 2100. That's what this study says. If we make it to that point, the human species is going to be hurting badly, much, much worse than we are now. And I don't think we recover if that's the case. So if anyone you know ever says climate change is a hoax, it's not real, it's not a problem, we don't need to focus on it, they're wrong. They're dead wrong. It is probably the number one problem in our world we have today. We should be spending almost all our time and energy focusing on it because it involves everybody. It's about the survival of our entire species. We can't look just to the borders anymore. We have to look past the borders. Carbon emissions don't have borders. The climate warming has no borders. It's time we unite as a species and understand that profit cannot be over our lives. The profit of a few cannot be put over the entire population. On the real.
And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very